the world's classiest bullshitter. And now, your host, the lady who wears the pants when she goes on rants, the trip with the wild hair flip, Jessie Milestone!
Couch. Right at the same time. He says, hello! I love dancing so much. Look at me go! Look at me go! Oh, man. Okay. So, what's up? Welcome to the internet, where we have just decided that we're eating chocolate pudding for dinner.
And my name is Burt Macklin, FBI.
And my name is Chuck Finley.
You look like a Chuck.
I specialize in whatever I need to specialize in.
Specialization?
Specialization. I always liked the name Charlie for a girl. And tonight, it's just a random night where we're going to talk like we do. Oh boy, Jeffrey Nelson is now stalking me. Jesse could have just torched all 3 Ralphs in Sherman Oaks. I'm glad you know how many Ralphs there are or are not in Sherman Oaks. Are there 3 Ralphs in Sherman Oaks? I'm not even sure that's
I
accurate.
only know of 2.
And that other one's actually in Studio City.
Oh.
So, but there you go.
Hi, the James Baker.
So, the James Baker's here. Action figure expert is here. Formerly Rod Lyon is here. The Briscoe 1234 is here. Audrey Schaefer, Alexander the Great, Dr. Coffinails, Santa 8 AB, whoever AB is.
Santa
Poor AB.
Baby.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Obviously. I'm just like, who's AB? Poor AB.
I'm going to change my
Santa
name to
8M.
AB8.
Ew, no, dude, that sounds like BB-8. Gay. Zach Blackfire's here, of course.
Does he still like big assholes and cannot come?
Oh yeah, Zach Blackfire will always like big assholes and cannot come. That's like we're like months overdue on that T-shirt, by the way. Can we make it?
By like 3 weeks, sure.
And yes, by months.
Look,
I mean, like
now
3
that
weeks.
I've got thousands of books here, I can move on to the next.
I'm just gonna make it on my own. It's just type. I can type things. I can make it myself. I don't know if you're gonna add anything pretty or exciting
I was
to
gonna
it.
design the fuck out of the type.
Well, also, just so you guys know, my hair just decided to do this today. This was not planned. This was not stylized. This is not a result of product. This is a result of how my hair decided to
It
dry
looks
today.
cool.
Thanks. I can actually, if I use enough product, I can do it with all of the undercut, especially at this length. It kind of looks neat, but that takes work. And I don't usually do that unless work. Now on offensive things that I tweeted today. This is the world that we've come to. This is the world we've been living in for a while, but I did need to put a disclaimer on this tweet, which I think is an excellent tweet. But I think it's an excellent tweet. What do you think, Jeff? Would you like to read this tweet?
Oh, you mean out loud? Sorry, I'm actually just sitting here reading. I'm like, oh,
Would you like to read it for the audience in your magical voice of magic? You have cat hair just like on your lip. That's also the world we live in.
so much cat hair.
Yep. We're just eating that. That's nice. Okay.
That's why I randomly cough on my streams or when you're in the middle of a video. Did you see me trying to hold back a cough?
Yep.
I picked up a pillow and coughed into it. I was like, oh.
Our diet is cat hair. It's delicious.
That's why we haven't eaten much today.
That's why
We're sustaining ourselves on cat hair and
There you go.
Swiss rolls.
Yeah.
Social justice logic. I'm woke. Anyone who isn't woke isn't on our side. You're not woke. You know who else isn't woke? The KKK isn't woke. If you guys on our side, you must be on the same side. And that's how I ended up becoming a KKK supporter.
True story. Not really. Obviously not a true story. Obviously a joke, which is why I felt the need to put this disclaimer up saying that it was, in fact, a joke. I have yet to be canceled, but stay tuned. That's the news. That's
And
the news.
now for the weather. Let's start singing a song. People are like, what are you guys on? Absolutely nothing.
But if
Night Vale.
Night Vale. Yeah, that's it for the news in the world today. Actually, that's not. I have a hilarious video for us to watch. There's a news story around that video, but we really just care about the hilarious video. Now, Jeff, when someone tells you about someone tells you that you could did this come out of the bag of fun things, or just when it was something that your mom
Yeah.
said? Oh, cool. Nice.
It's just soap or lotion, folks. It's nothing weird.
Jeff's mom sends us care packages, and so does mine.
Yeah.
But mine sent me
Our moms
vitamins.
send us care packages.
And both moms include copious amounts of treats for the cats.
And beef jerky.
And beef jerky.
They know what we like.
That's true. They do, don't they?
Beef jerky. Dad.
Anyway, so if I was going to...
If you were going
If I was going to
to...
explain to you about, the story around an incident that happened in the UK protests, would you want to know more about the controversy of this issue? Or would you just really want to see the video of some chick getting clotheslined by a traffic light as her horse takes off on
You
her?
had me at clothesline.
Yeah, okay. So this happened, and it's hilarious. We can talk about it, because apparently people were trying to say this was the protesters who tore a police officer off her horse because people are dumb like that. No, if you were wondering what happened, there is some stupidity around this. And we'll get to that stupidity too. In the meantime, though, the important part is just this video. I guess I'll share the audio. It doesn't really matter. You can enjoy this video just as much without audio. Observe.
Oh!
People are cheering.
Oh my God! Right in the fucking face!
Yep.
Look at the whiteboard bounce! Boom!
Oh, the force of your face. Oh God.
Oh, when you watch it again, watch her neck and her body jerk it.
Oh God, it's pretty brutal. Now this, for those who care, for those who still believe that police officers' lives matter, this woman is, I think she went to the hospital, but she's fine. She's gonna live. She's cool. The horse, I think, is also fine when charging into a crowd, prompting idiotic tweets like,
Those stupid underwear?
I am an ardent horse lover, but 1, horses should not be used as weapons. 2, was police decision to put them in harm's way. 3, George Floyd was killed, as of others in the US and the UK. Okay. The incident was unfortunate, but not the responsibility of protesters. Surely a horse running towards people is a weapon. What's a horse's weight? Then add speed. So this is the new idiotic perspective from the protesters. And I learned about this, actually. I ended up learning about this. I was doing some research. I found out this was a big thing that happened today because somebody made a comment replying to replying to my tweet talking about how this logic, or welcome to, everyone's been like, yeah, welcome to being accused of being a KKK member club, which this person apparently was earlier. Well, I don't know if it publicly or online advocating that people not do violence to horses and not use horses are a weapon as a justification for attacking police horses. Because that's wrong, guys. Hurting innocent animals is wrong. And no, a horse that gets loose because of chaos and goes running into a crowd is not a weapon that was unleashed by the police on you. Get over yourselves, for fuck's sake. Can a horse be used as a weapon? Actually, really, no, not without its consent. Horses kind of have minds of their own. They're living creatures. They're very strong-willed. They're also bigger than us. So unless you've specifically pointedly trained your horse to be a weapon, no. Horses aren't really.
Horses are normally bigger than us, except Lil Sebastian.
Rest in peace, Lil Sebastian. I love how if you just listen carefully to the references we make to each other, you can figure out exactly what we're doing in our free time. So, we've already had 2 Parks and Rec references tonight, actually.
Let's go for 10.
So, let's go for 10.
10 episodes tonight.
So, I mean, that wouldn't be outside of our.
That's probably what we're going to do tonight, folks.
Realm of
We have gotten into a point where we work in the day, and then Parks and Rec at night, and then we kind of get up earlier.
It's
than
like you were going to say party, but you said Parks and Rec. That's our parties now. Is this the first super chat of the night?
It is, from our friend Bruce
Damn,
Lombardo.
I believe it is. I should go all the way back and make sure I didn't miss anything, but I don't think I did. Bruce Lombardo, our good friend, says, I made a live stream at the current idiotic topics and showing the reasons why I have the opinions I have. I'm not sorry. Free men does not kneel. I hope you two are having a good start to this week. Thank you, Bruce Lombardo. Agree with that. And I'm sorry that you went through that because yeah. It's hard. It's difficult to have an opinion these days. It really is, not even the right opinion or a good opinion or opinion that stands against the masses or stands for this or against that, or, oh yeah, by the way, press the like button if you're just joining us. But anyway, it's difficult because it's this culture we live in. Always, you were always going to have people disagreeing with you if you had a different of opinion. That's fine. That's normal. What you have today, though, is this idea that an opinion you have somehow files you into a category, and that's moral or amoral, depending on who's listening. And if you fall into the category of amoral in somebody's eye, they now feel entitled to completely dehumanize you, to not even acknowledge that you are a human being and deserving of rights, like the right to be alive. Which, by the way, now that I'm on this rant about the right to being alive and shit like that, because you hear this, by the way, if you ask a social justice warrior if they feel bad, because they'll talk about how terrible it was, this awful thing happened to a person of color. If you ask them if they feel any sympathy when the exact same thing happened to a non-person of color, they will tell you, no, it's okay. They're white. They'll be fine. Their life is full of privilege. We should always give all of their jobs away to people of color. It's like, oh, so we should give every single job away to people of color, and white people should not have any jobs at all, but they'll totally be fine because white privilege. I'm sorry, explain that to me.
Two things. First off, second part to Bruce is just hard to get the week started. Secondly,
Yes.
to your point, it's like the movie Trading Places. Remember that with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
How they were like, oh, he's got all this privilege and shit, and he'll be fine. No, that's a great movie, and I think
It's a great movie.
it reflects, though, kind of what you're talking about.
Enjoyed that movie. It does. It really does. And that's what I mean. The problem with that attitude is you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have it both ways. If you're a person whose attitude is, we don't have to worry about, we don't have to take care of Whitey because Whitey's just going to land on their feet because they're the oppressor and they're the ones in power and they're the this. Great, then stop trying to change the power. You don't get it both ways. You don't get to shit all over white people and say, you don't deserve nice things, or we don't have to worry about you, or you don't deserve, you're not entitled to the same protections that everyone else is. And then also say, we're trying to change the power imbalance so you guys are no longer in power. Because all you're saying at that point is, we hate white people. We want white people to suffer forever. You don't get it two ways. You either change the power balance, in which and you decide you're going to be the benevolent ones that rule everything with great egalitarianism and no problems ever, or you can do your petty whatever ways of getting back at Whitey in your daily lives and propping up people of color, because we're so at odds as a community that we can't all be successful at the same time. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it weird? Society would just collapse in on itself if both white people and black people were successful at the same time. It would never happen. That would be like Denzel Washington being a famous movie star at the same time as Robert Downey Jr.
Bad example. Robert Downey Jr. was in jail back then.
Denzel Washington made Fences during the Marvel era.
It was a joke.
So,
Wait, Fences?
Fences? He won the Academy Award for it and stuff,
I just thought he won Oscars in the 90s, too.
Yeah, I'm just saying recently. It's not like, my
Wait,
point
didn't he win one for Flight?
My point is that Denzel has not lost a step.
He never lost a step. I have nothing but respect for him. He's not my favorite actor, but I've never watched him in a bad role.
But that's fair. He's pretty
Even
great.
like his earlier shit, like Glory, he was good back then. See that movie? When he cries. Whew.
Hang on a second. Is that the one with Matthew Broderick?
Yeah,
It's
you've
the
seen
Civil
it,
War
yeah.
with Matthew Broderick. Yeah, I see it.
It's a good movie.
It is. Yeah, so that Denzel is fantastic before I go home. Denzel is. Did I ever finish that text I was writing to you earlier? I don't think I did.
wouldn't know.
This is I wrote half of one to my mom. This has been my thing lately, is writing text that I don't finish. So I'm going to finish this text to my mom because that is important.
You actually have been starting sentences that you haven't.
That's true too. Now, did you want to say something? It sounded like you wanted to say something before I went on my rant.
I think I got my point across about. Well, no. Anyway, you send your text.
Okay.
I'll talk about little Sebastian and how his passing.
It's deeply affected you.
It's never. I'm fine. It's a fucking
I'll
horse.
never get over it ever.
I feel like I would have been. What's his name? Ben. I just don't get it.
I'll press the like button, bitches. How could you not get little?
The thing is, I do get little Sebastian. I have been around tiny Shetland ponies.
That was just a miniature horse.
Oh.
That was even smaller. The ones they brought on stage for his memorial, those were Shetland ponies.
Okay.
Little bitty ponies are really cute. Miniature horses. There are miniature horses that are smaller than Oscar.
I like that. I like Oscar.
And that's remember that whole moment where it's like he's a horse, not a pony. Technically, horses and ponies are their conformation is slightly different. And technically, a miniature horse and it's their gait when they run. Miniature horses are gated more like horses than ponies. Fun fact.
So what you're telling me is that we want to get a little horse.
Yeah, totally. I've always wanted. I tried to convince my parents when I was younger that we should get one. Just keep. I was like, we already have Newfies. Let's just
I'm actually
Keep it in
okay with a little horse sooner than you realize.
good. Let's get one.
But we have to name it Little Sebastian.
Maybe.
Seriously, I'm not joking. I will get on board with horses and dogs and shit if they have famous character names that I can say we have Little Sebastian in this household.
Then we gotta find a mini that looks like Little Sebastian. Though.
That's fine. It's not going to be that hard.
Right.
We could Google in 10 minutes what type of horse Little Sebastian was.
I mean, what
Then
he looks like. I know
Yeah,
what he
but
looks. I
then-
know what type of horse he is. He's
Well,
a miniature horse. I know what he looks
Well,
like.
then the thing is, then
Let's
we,
see what
then we
eyes.
Google horse hair stylists. We give him the Little Sebastian haircut, and then we get Amy Poehler to come over and celebrate his birthday with us.
I bet you would too.
I bet you with a big
She
enough
totally would.
online, her and
If
Chris Pratt.
if we sent them, if we like tweeted pictures at them like crazy and was like, guys, if we tweeted the cast of Parks and Rec and was like, we got Little Sebastian, you're invited to his birthday. At least some of them. would show
Aziz
up.
Ansari would show up. He's not doing anything.
I feel like Nick Offerman would show up too.
He would be cool.
I feel like he totally. I feel like
I even would like if Jerry showed up.
I would love if Jerry showed up.
Would it be amazing if
Sorry.
he was the only one?
Gary.
I'd be like-
I would call him Gary the whole time.
I'd be like,
too,
sorry,
just
dude.
for him.
I'm like, can I help you?
Just for him. But I'll bet you, fucking Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman would totally.
I
come
like
together.
everybody on that show so much.
good.
I even miss Brandon.
I know. It's funny. It's like you hate him at first, and by the time he actually goes, you're like, I don't like him.
I will tell you this though. I'm ready for Rob Lowe to leave.
Really?
I'm tired of his literally everything. And what's
He
his
is
face?
a lot.
Ann Reynolds or
Ann
whatever.
Perkins.
Ann Perkins.
How do you not remember her name when he has said it like every
Because I
episode?
think it's like a Rashida Jones.
Fine.
She is fine.
She's cute. She's
Well, thin for one. Anyway,
all right. Well,
did you send a tweet?
not yet. It's a text.
My wife works with Nick Offerman's sister, says formerly Rob Line.
Ooh, is he as awesome as I mean, I don't know if it comes up. I don't know if they're like friends in the workplace and whatnot. But if your wife has met Nick Offerman or if has discussed him with his sister, is he every bit as delightful as I imagine he is?
I would, if he came to our little Sebastian's birthday, we would offer him steak. And that's it. Realistically, you could have a Parks and Rec party for pretty cheap. Like just shit referencing the show. It'd be a lot of fun. It's funny. I feel like I'm on your show and I'm just sitting here waiting on mine. I can go 90 minutes without anybody else in the room and I just keep firing them off. So anyway, about that Warner Brothers stuff, folks. Let's take away our guns from our hunters in animation form.
What the fuck? Animated. It just hunters use guns to hunt animals.
Or
it's
bows.
like, I mean, like it's not the whole beauty of Looney Tunes and of that whole sketch, Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny is like, it's just nature. It's literally just, and actually the whole point of it. Wait, when you say I'm not available, do you mean I'm now available? And look, I know you're excited to hang out with your friends and stuff like that. You're real friends, but am I that sad? Are we going to be broken up about the fact that your plans fell through and you just got to come on our stream and drink with us on Thursday? You be sad about that?
No.
No, not even a little bit. Not even going to shed a tear. Not even going to shed a tear.
Hello, Nana Reaper. It's good to see you here.
Yes.
Let's see. Cancel culture did start. Tumblr. That's a word I rarely use unless I'm talking about the Batman Batmobile or the Glass. And I don't miss Tumblr at all. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, Spider-Man, folks. Spider-Man 2 is without a doubt the greatest superhero film of all time. The
Right.
battle between Doc Ock. Oh wow.
I'll just tell you, Al, you finish your thought, but I'll just say
No,
it out
just
loud.
I'm just waiting.
You want to see how far down he is in my text too? That's how long ago.
You've been on your
was
phone
yesterday.
Jesus Christ. You've even texted me more recent.
Yeah.
His phone number.
Yes, actually. So that's probably when I brought it up. I think it was in the middle of the text, and you mentioned needing his phone number still. So I went to go send you his contact, and then forgot about finishing the text. So that's my life. We did get a couple super chats though. I didn't want to interrupt your train of thought on Doc
I
Ock.
don't even have a train of thought
Okay.
that Spider-Man and Doc Ock fought on
Beth
top of.
says if there's a pot of shit on to boil, you can bet that the SJWs are going to stir it like it's God's work. You know it, Beth. You know it. It's just this obsession with misery. I'm going to keep
loves
a
company.
notebook over here and like write some of these thoughts down because I need to do something on Patreon about the Looney Tunes stuff too. By the way, if you guys are missing, if you're like, Jessie used to be all over these topics. She used to be like, always hitting with these, these hot topics with her biting commentary and whatnot. That's all still there, guys. It's just on my Patreon. It's over on my Patreon, so just go check it out. $1 a month gets you, an extra one of those rants plus social justice, Jessie, every Wednesday, and then
They're good too. I'm
They're
right
good.
here. She records them right over there.
and it is exciting.
I've chuckled.
It's a good time. And then $2 gets you a bunch of other commentaries and whatnot. So if you want my full thoughts on Looney Tunes, happening.
Yeah,
Bruce Lombardo says you need a Discord channel.
I agree. I do.
What does
You-
one do with a Discord channel?
I have no clue. That's why I don't know what to do. But I agree.
I-
Enough people keep asking for it.
I
so-
know Anna has one now. Maybe I'll ask more about that. Let's talk to her this week. Check it out on the Matriarchy on Anna's stream this week, 2 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday on that Star Wars Girls channel. Maybe I'll ask her more because I know she keeps bringing up that she's doing stuff with us. Next time I talk to her, maybe I'll ask her.
I get
about
most
it.
excited when the matriarchy's on Mindless Entertainment.
I mean, I do get excited then too because it's my channel and I love it. But Anna's great too. And next week, you'll get your wish. It'll be on Mindless Entertainment every other week because we're awesome like that. And Bruce Lombardo says, drink! Well, we were not boozing tonight, but I will take a swig of Yoo-Hoo for the working man.
Are you sure we're not boozing tonight? I mean, we have Maker's
Oh,
Mark right
shit.
here.
I mean, I can also just take a sip of Maker's Mark. That's fine.
I feel like $2 for a Maker's Mark. We'll just wait.
I was going to say, too bad our other bottles are away otherwise.
I mean, I
For
will.
$2.
I mean, I can get you Berserk.
Is the tequila handy?
I was using it to clean.
So, yes. I'll take a sip of tequila for $2. That's pretty smooth, I think. Actually, we haven't tried this stuff straight yet.
We took shots of it.
I think it was pretty smooth, right?
Yes. I like tequila in general.
How much more of the sip left? Would you like the tequila?
No.
All right, Bruce, that's all for me then. Woo! I was just going to drink Yoo-Hoo.
How does Yoo-Hoo and tequila blend?
Surprisingly fine.
All appear in your belly.
Yay. Surprisingly fine. Tequila shakes, anyone? I'd fuck with tequila shakes. Uh-oh. Bruce Lombardo says, here, I really meant this. Drink!
Now, hold on. Let me go get
Get
shot
the makers.
glasses.
Are we doing a full shot for 10?
For 10, we always do.
I
Right?
thought 20 we do shots. I'll do half a shot for 20. Or for 10, rather.
It's Bruce Lombardo.
It is Bruce Lombardo.
He
You
loves
need
us.
glasses?
I was going to. You need anything else while I'm gone? Ham
No.
sandwich, steak sandwich, Bloody Mary, steak sandwich. Would you charge to the Underhills? Because I'm stepping out of frame
All of the above.
onto a cat scratch.
We might as well just do a whole shot since we just got a tenner from Firefart.
So I don't die.
How long do you think till Pancake knocks that down?
Minutes.
Ooh, what do you think is a monetary value on sharing the Shit Pancake song live publicly?
Since you have to it, you make the call.
I feel like
It's worth 20.
for $20 I'll sing the Shit Pancake
How
song.
about this too? Remember Jim B. Mapp?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'll shoot that.
Let's see this.
I'll try that. Totally. I forgot we even had that. I was like, I thought we bought an additional alcohol, but I don't remember what it was.
Here.
Wee. I'm thinking now, actually, I don't have any guests lined up for Wednesday night. I am still doing a show. Whatchamacallit. It might be fun to have Sean on to talk about this assault on 2A and Looney Tunes. Would be a good one for that topic. Have a little three-way panel on it.
We were talking about you on the way back from the pool today, Sean. We called you an expert.
Oh, we did.
It was very complimentary.
And that's how it came up. The thing that I did want to actually ask you about, though, what I was in the middle of texting you about was that we discussed how annoying it is to own guns here, how much easier it is if you own a gun from another state and bring it in here. And as it happens, Jeff is still, technically a resident of Ohio as well. and we are going to be going there soon, and we're thinking about possibly looking into the possibility of acquiring a firearm and then transporting it to the Californias. And so we have to look at the laws and whatnot and things like that. But obviously, we would want your advice when determining which type of firearm we might want to own.
And everything's going to be on the up and up because I don't fuck around with the government.
Especially,
I'm like, I got to pay my taxes on this date.
Oh yeah. July 15th, sweetheart. July 15th.
No.
A little more than
The 15th of every month. I pay
you pay your monthly taxes.
Yeah, stealing solo is great.
Still have to file yours, right? Though.
Still have to file. I was actually thinking about like taking a day in Cincinnati and just going to get it done, but
it's up to you.
You could help me with it, right?
I could. It's not that hard, yeah. But yes, because that's one of the other things. I mean, this came up for me because I was like, well, this defund the police movement. I have a lot of feelings about this. I'll probably be talking about this either on Patreon or on the channel. I haven't decided where I'm going to put this now.
This is my chaser.
Is the ooh.
Guess what? There's 2 in a pack. One for you.
Oh boy, I'm excited. It actually smells really good. But that if this movement, because the thing is and if you actually read some literature, so I figured, okay, this is the new thing. Abolish the police. This is not a new concept, as it turns out. People have been in the far reaches of liberaldom have been advocating for this for a long time on various levels. The whole calling it abolish the police. Wow, I lost a chunk of that.
Take it back. Bite it right off. There you go.
This whole concept of abolish the police, the actual using that language, that extreme language, is newer. This idea has existed in a lot of, and in not terrible ways too, because a lot of the idea behind it is let us increase community awareness, community policing, community outreach, because they acknowledge that one of the big issues with this is also incarceration rates and recidivism rates. So improving community outreach, that people who are coming out of jail have an easier time reintegrating into society, so that people have some more support programs for when they're going through troubled times or on drugs, and the things that I'm all on board with. And the whole idea for these things is that it reduces the need for a police presence in your community. That's fine. I'm on board with all of that. People skip a lot of steps, though. They don't realize the police does more than just patrol the neighborhood and shoot unarmed black men. There's a lot more to police work and having a dedicated and talented police force, which is why, like, defunding a department, getting rid of them is not the answer. Now, again, some of these additional things, like people realizing how mismanaged some of the police budgets have been, I'm for that. That's great. Overhauling the budgets, to try to put the money in the right places to make sure police departments aren't overfunded while other city works suffer. Things like that is fine. But if we're all going to radically try to overthrow the police and whatnot, well, what do you have in place of that?
Nothing. They don't have. The thing is, everyone's all high on the emotions right now of everything. They don't. It's like you're in Vegas. You meet this cool girl or this cool guy. You have a couple of drinks. You hit it off. Let's get married. And then you've made a huge mistake, and you spend money and time getting a divorce. You try it first. You're like, maybe. And then you realize, no, it was stupid.
And to use another analogy about police work, weirdly enough, because there's, a lot more to it than people realize. Why don't police officers, just go out and when they know that there's a drug dealer in their neighborhood, let's say a big drug kingpin, why don't they just go and bust him right away?
Hard due process, right? We gotta follow all the fucking
Not
laws.
even that. Just like they know he's there. They know there's a bad guy in their neighborhood who like organized, a fairly organized gang, big kingpin in the neighborhood, who kind of runs everything. They know he's there. They can pin him for certain illegal activities. Why don't they just go bust that up right away? Why don't they just go tear that down when they find out that happens, when they have the dirt to throw someone in jail? Do you know? There's a lot. There's a lot of reasons.
There's a lot. I don't know. You're trying to actually answer. Okay. This is a loaded question. I mean, first off, you have to take you have to get a warrant to get that, because, and I always try to stick with pop culture, but everyone understands what I'm saying. Like Freddy Krueger did all that. He raped kids, killed them, all this shit. Got off on a technicality. So it took the parents of Springwood to go hunt him down and kill him. Same thing without the hunting down part. Bad warrant. X, Y, and Z. Sometimes you push through stuff. Cutting all this stuff isn't going to help. There are things you got to do. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. there are other things you can do before you take that
Sure.
extreme step.
Well, to that point, and that's steering away from the analogy too. That's an excellent point too, because due process still exists. That's written in our Constitution. You can't just erase that by getting rid of the police department. Who is there to make sure due process happens? Who is there to make sure that people who are convicted of or who are accused of a crime get due process and don't just get shot down by Joe up the street who's taken it upon himself to be the deputy of the
Think of all
neighborhood?
the innocent people too.
Exactly.
Like I hate to. I'm not trying to cut in your thunder, but like on the Monsters Who Drove Maple Street episode, where the people in the Twilight Zone, they get cordoned off and they get scared and they kill what's his name from 3 streets over, or the guy who was just going to check to see if there's power. Think of all the innocent people that do go to jail or do go on trial, bad police work and stuff like that too. That stuff isn't going to go away either, because what's going to, the court system still exists.
You're not going to replace bad police work with no police work. That's idiotic.
You have to take into account too, there's bad work. Dentistry. I've had a bad dentist once. Sure. You had to pay someone to fix it. I am not this super.
Now, there are malpractice suits all the time. That is not the prevalence of bullshit malpractice suits is one of the reasons why you have fewer and fewer good doctors these days. But for
a good example though,
what
you said, fewer good doctors. What the hell?
That's true too, actually. Because you have more and more people attacking the doctors. Weird when people just go after all of the doctors for no reason because they vilified doctors. This is a great point. That's another great example, because people have vilified doctors because of malpractice, many of which, by the way, and people even straight up admit to this on the jury, they say, we knew that the doctors did nothing wrong. We felt very bad for the person who, had some procedure, had some side effect, and now they're in a wheelchair, whatever happened to them. There are these these sad cases, and people, what?
The pizza slice from the show we watched with your mom.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of the episode.
Exactly the whole point of the episode. People feel bad and they want you to get your reward. They want you to get something nice, but they don't realize the cost that it's not just free money that the courts are giving out. There's a cost to the system, and the constant assaults on the medical system has decreased the quality of doctors across the board. People do now, the prohibitive cost of med school, the time it takes to go through it, and all sorts of things like that are all factors, but that's a huge one. And now up against all of those things, we actually run into a situation where we don't have enough good doctors in this country. But the point I was making about the cops earlier, the number one reason why, even if they could get all of those things, even if they could cross all the red tape and go through all of the things to go after a major, drug lord, crime boss, whatever, and make it stick. The reason why they don't just go do that as soon as they have all of the means to go after them is because you create a vacuum when that happens. Police officers know the criminal makeup of their neighborhoods. They know the criminal element too. And if you have a boss in there and he is the end all be all of, let's say, any drugs that are running through here and weapons are all going to go through this guy, or he's going to know about it, right? Now you can get rid of him. And you don't know what's going to take that place. It could be much more chaos. It could be a turf war. Turf wars are terrible. Let's say you remove one big guy, right? We all know that if you're alive, you're probably aware that mobs, whether you're proper mafiosos, organized crime elements, small gangs, whatever it is, are very territorial. Most people are aware of that because most people are alive. And when someone has claim over turf, they are keeping out a lot of other unsavories off of that turf. Police forces don't want to go in and just remove those unsavories because a whole bunch of things will rise up to take its place. Other people, and again, turf wars, escalations happen all the time, right? So what do you think happens if you remove the police department? There's one theory: osmosis mafia will take over. Turf wars, escalation, of course.
And remember, folks, if all these things happen, those people that take over don't have the accountability.
There's no accountability.
So
exactly.
Let's say the mob does. This is an extreme case because look at all this defunding. It's not going to happen. No. But we're playing the rules that it is. If they come into town and you're paying for protection, who says that it doesn't go up 20% the next day? Where's the limit?
Of course,
aren't we in a? Present circumstances removed, society is not as bad as people make it out to be.
No.
You can walk down the street in a major American city and you have a good chance that you're not going to get stabbed. I can walk out down whatever streets behind us or that way and anything. I feel fairly safe.
Happy Rainbows Boulevard. That's where we live. We live in Happy Rainbows Boulevard. In the IHOS.
The IHOS. As long as we don't live on Yancey Street, that's cool. Are we taking this shot?
We are.
Are we taking shots for all these?
I was gonna read now. I was
Thank
gonna read this
God.
one because this is making us $20 worth. Bruce Lombardo really means that we will drink, and we will. As
They're
soon as I
poured out,
read
buddy,
this,
don't worry.
Go Big Boy or Go Home says, notice how anti-gunners want us to give up our our assault rifles and be happy. You just wrote our AR rifles. AR stands for assault rifles. You just wrote our assault rifles. Anyway,
Hey, I've heard you say ATM machine before.
I've definitely said that. Anyway, notice how anti-gunners want to give up our assault rifles and be happy with our hunting rifles. Now they need those out of sight. They always move the goalposts once they get us to give an inch. That is a great point. Go Big Boy or Go Home. I didn't even think about that, but that's why we want you on the
Give
show
an
to
inch,
come
take
talk
a mile,
about this.
all of this shit, though.
Doxy Mama says go, Jesse and me. But now for Bruce.
Now for the weather.
That's
That's
really
pretty
nice.
good.
It's very appley.
Yeah, folks, we're drinking Jim Beam Apple and eating Swiss rolls as a chaser because we
AKA
actually,
Little Debbie's.
yeah, we. What did we eat today? Like even for
Cheese.
like a guy my size, I've undereaten.
Wait, cheese.
Cheese and a burrito. We made that shitty little 200.
Little baby breakfast
Yeah.
burritos. Because our fruit got bad.
We tried to eat healthy today because we kind of partied over the weekend. We had what did we ever? We made burgers.
It was last night. We had burgers and hot dogs. It was awesome.
Oh, it's delicious.
So good.
That burns going down.
That
Yeah, it's
should
good
be.
burn.
That's what it does.
I feel like I've cured myself of every known disease.
Mm-hmm. All right.
No, but I think you're on a really important topic right now because
Thank you.
no, I mean I'm not here to kiss your ass. I live with you. I can do it if I want to. But all this stuff right now, everything, and this isn't even about choosing a side. Everything's just a knee-jerk reaction. And I think before any kind of long-term decisions are made, people just need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and weigh all their options.
Assess the situation.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
Don't just dive in head first and with
Because
your knee
if
jerk.
I see fit, I will go out without shoes. Okay. Fuck it, I'm going out shoes.
Going out shoeless. Ah, you with shoes.
Yeah,
Check out this guy. Flaming TV says, I'm fine with no cops as long as the prisons pay for my gas for dropping off people I don't have to kill. Chaotic good for the win. Fair enough.
Well, dude, what stops, and I know this is, I'm not trying to minimize your discussion, but like what stops like a Batman type of character? We've seen, I think it's in Portland.
Nothing. That's exactly
they
the
have
point.
people that dress up like superheroes and go out and try to fight crime. That's a real thing. I'm not making it up. We'll watch the videos after you want. The guy's got a shitty rubber suit and a secret
I feel
identity.
like I might have heard about this and probably blocked my. Is this Portland's to defund this?
To be fair, I think most Portland because it's such a cheap place to live.
That's fair.
Because everyone's poor there.
Now it's full of social justice warriors.
It's been like that for decades. They just feel
it's
emboldened.
disgusting. Yeah, Jay Hando Forces. What's up, Jesse and Jeff? We're talking about how stupid it is to defund the police overall and have a great time.
All I can do is smell this apple.
Drinking. It does smell very powerfully an appliness. I did not see if Sean ever confirmed whether.
Air does not stand for a star.
Oh, it says for Armalite rifle. Oh my god. Okay, I stand corrected. I've always heard it used for assault rifle.
I didn't
There
know that
we
shit
go.
either. I'm like, I act like I need something.
There we go. Look at that. This is why we keep Sean around, to be right about things when it
Andy's
comes to
got a
guns.
cool voice.
He does have a cool voice. We like it. Well, thank you for that correction. I still don't see him agreeing to obviously come on.
He already
to
said
this.
that. He said happy to help choosing a new
That was
firearm.
in Church to a New Firearm. That was not about the Looney Tunes, the de-gunning, the taking our.
Just text the guy.
I guess. Why would I like talk to him like he's a person when I could just pretend that I have no other ways of interacting with him ever? But that is what's up, Jay Hando. For what is up with you? I hope you are doing well.
The listeners, what's up,
There
guys?
you go. And I think someone's a Relax Bro in here. I can't find anymore. If the Relax Bro was to Sean, you don't get to tell Sean Firefart to relax. Sean has license to act in any way he chooses on this channel, as long as I don't say otherwise.
Oh, license to thrill. That was a James Bond theme park ride. That's not fake. It was cool.
Private Halo 117. Thank you for the super chat, my dude. Says I have family there, police officers. I have family there, police officers, and they say they're not trained enough. There are states where there's a minimum of 2 months for training, or 6 months. Well, in London, it's 2 years. Well, at least some place actually cares. But also, look at that. I mean, say what you want. You can agree, disagree. This whole thing is you can't look at the UK's gun laws through the lens of our gun laws. First of all, different circumstance, different country, different values. One of the reasons why 2A is so important in this country is one of our founding core values. Our country was founded via revolution. Therefore, the ability to have a revolution is kind of an intrinsic part. Now, England enjoying a long time sitting on their comfy asses while the crown goes off and commandeers the world for them. They trust other people to do shit for them, and they don't need to defend themselves. And what the point is that the culture is different. So it's unfair, I think, to judge the UK through our eyes, to cast judgment, or to say that just because, not having firearms works for the UK police force, it would work here too. No, that's ridiculous. Because of the yeah.
And what about the people that think like this is the start of a revolution?
This right now outside?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not another real possibility. You certainly have a lot of the rhetoric for it.
But what's the other side of all this? Because we're not a new country that's fighting to be independent. We're fighting ourselves.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is in a revolutionary situation here, you're deposing the people in power and putting in new people, and what those new people look like depends on who wins the revolution. And the interesting thing, and the reason why I'm like, it's not all lost yet, even though it's the social justice side that's being vocal about said revolution, is because that said social justice side also doesn't have any firepower. So their odds of winning a revolution that they're trying to start, realistically, if it came to that, what's most likely to happen is that the social justice warriors declare revolution. The psycho, gun-toting militia members come out of the woodwork and kill all of them. And then the, U.S. Army steps in and arrests all of those people for murder.
Because the police can't, because they're gone.
Because we've gotten rid of the police. So the Army comes in and is the de facto police, force, which is totally not going to go wrong ever. Steps in and, jails all the militia people who murdered all the SJWs. And we go back to, status quo, just with a few fewer SJWs and militia men in the world.
Will those people be turned into martyrs?
On both sides, yeah. I mean, probably. And then this just continues forever because nobody ever wants to learn and we want to get stupider until we die.
Why can't we go back to bitching about taxes and levies and all these other things?
I'd really personally just like to get an island somewhere where I don't have to deal with humans ever again.
Bad news. You have to deal with me.
That's fine. You can come.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, so what I was saying.
And Shippancake.
Shippancake can come too, I guess, but no surfaces. No surfaces on the island. None whatsoever.
Isn't the island a surface?
No. Sand is not a surface.
So Anakin Skywalker just floated on Tatooine?
Yeah, here's fun science. Because of the sort of force field around all of our atoms, nothing is ever actually touching. There's always a micro amount of distance between these two things. So we're always just kind of levitating around. Just a micro measurement off the floor.
Oh, so I'm a micro measurement.
Okay. But anyway, so it's absurd to say that, because a gunless police force works in the UK, it would work here. It is also absurd to say that, the UK is full of a bunch of pussy losers because they don't use guns. Again, different cultures, different countries, different
Have you been
values.
to one of their soccer matches? Those people are fucking vicious.
Dude, Manchester United, don't worry.
People.
Manchester United there's a reason that the word hooligan applies specifically now to fans of that soccer team.
I would, if you know that old joke, I'm going to rip your arm off and beat you to death with it?
Yeah.
Soccer fans would do that shit.
Soccer fans have done that. Soccer fans in Brazil straight up decapitated a ref, like a young, 20-year-old kid who was reffing a soccer game, and you got some schmutz there. Yeah, so they do not mess around when it comes to their football. So yeah, but at least from that perspective, okay. So 2 years of training before you can actually go out in the streets and be a cop. That sounds about right. When every single day you're taking your own lives and the lives of your own life and the life of others into your hands. An extended training period, you're not going to hear me complain about that. Anyway.
And it's funny, talking about police training here, it's not as loose as some people would say. Dion tried for years to become a cop. Mm-hmm. He couldn't do it because he was literally 2 seconds shy of the run record requirement. But I will say this. I do think as a cop, you should be required to be as physically fit within reason as a soldier. because you're an urban soldier.
But I think Police Academy is like that, has those restrictions. I
meant like long term. I mean, how many fat cops do you see?
I think that's where the problem comes in. I think the problem comes in. So when you're a doctor, every X number of years, you have to do enough education, as in get enough education in your field. You have to stay up to date with the new, medical science coming out in your field and what's going on and other doctors and whatever. You have to do enough. That's my dad goes to a convention every year because you need to stay up to date in your field in order to retain your certification as a doctor. You need to demonstrate your continued ability to learn. I don't know what exists in the police academy. I'm sure they have some sorts of checkups and check-ins, but it seems to me that whatever standard they set for your fitness when you enter the police academy needs to be the standard of fitness you maintain until you go into desk work. I'll say if you're off the streets, you don't need to chase a criminal down. That's fine. If you're a detective and 98% of what you do is behind a desk, okay. You can change the requirements, but as long as you are, on the streets patrolling as a cop, yeah, those should stay in place. And by the same token, any of the training you get as a police officer, sensitivity training, human, whatever kinds of, training, use of force training, all of these things should be re-upped continuously throughout your tenure as a police officer, irrespective of department. These should be things like our standardized tests that states have. That everyone has to do as long as you're in a public school and shit like that. Or I think even a lot of private schools, that's the way that like private schools a lot of times will retain their accreditation is everyone does the same, tests and stuff like that.
Oh, I remember.
Fucking standardized, statewide police curriculums, standardized, things you have to meet, whatever, minimums you have to meet and whatnot in terms of training and education, as long as you serve, in order to things like that. That's what I would do with this opportunity to, overhaul the system and stuff like that. That's what I would do. But I'm not the system. I don't make the rules. I don't run the system. I just humbly ask you to press the like button. We're only at 59, but we can get to 100 very soon. So that's cool. And yes. Oh, I think this is actually auto-refreshing.
It does, yeah.
Huzzah. That's exciting. Look at all this time I've wasted. Okay, so that is the last one there then. That's great. And cool. We are only 39 likes away from 100 now. Dr. Call. Oh, wait, I just didn't read that one.
No.
I highlighted it and then it went away. And it said, it was for also by the Halo 117. It said, if all the police departments are defunded beyond the capability of doing their job, there is a contingency plan that comes out of the Pentagon. It's called the Active Duty Military and Martial Law. I wonder if anybody realizes, if any of them realize that. That's an excellent point too, Private Halo.
Don't recognize it.
Clearly not, because once again, they don't recognize any of the ramifications of these decisions. As we've stated, as the point we've been trying to drive home is when you create a vacuum, something comes to take its place. And I didn't even think of that now too either, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, you create that vacuum, you have civil unrest to that extent. And what are you going to have? There's no step now between military coming in. Because guess what? That's the chain of communication too. By the way, it's not just the governors who show up one day and go, "Oh, we need the National Guard to show up and come in and deploy the National Guard." No, it's the police the police department communicating to the governor from various areas. Police departments saying, "We in our town," and communicating to the mayors, who then communicate to the governor if you want real, chains of things and stuff, saying, tell me that's not real, by the way.
Yeah, Anna was just banned by YouTube.
Oh, shit.
2 people said it.
Fuck. Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. When I finish this rant. No, that's important.
Yeah.
That is very important too. But what I was saying is yeah, exactly that. Like the chain of command is, we will go, the police departments tell the mayor, we're out of our league. The mayor tells the governor finds out, the city of Los Angeles is ill-equipped to deal with these protesters. Better call in the National Guard. That chain of command, that chain of communication is gone if you get rid of the police department. Now you just have unrest. Mayor kind of figures it out. One mayor, you're talking about the mayor of Los Angeles. That's a county with 15 million people in this county. And you're asking one person and one person's department.
There are 15 million people in this county?
In Los Angeles County? Yeah.
I didn't realize
We're the largest. Yeah. It's that's why like people talk about Los Angeles, but about biggest cities. And if you go by county, we're the biggest city in America. But it's just New York is like the borough and stuff like that. But Los Angeles is not just, it's bullshit. It's really bullshit how they measure LA because you can't get an accurate. But anyway, by county, Yeah, and that's one mayor for, and granted, you have like a separate mayor for Santa Monica and some of the other little cities and stuff like that. But one guy, you know, LA, 15 million fucking people. How's this one guy without his boots on the ground, his police department? How is he going to overnight, you know, be able to gauge whether you need the National Guard or not, and how to direct them, what neighborhoods to send them to, which areas are experiencing the most unrest? Guess who gives him that information? Oh, right, the police department. So fuck you all. But
Dr. Coffin, please don't talk
I
about
said I had
food.
a cookout, a sirloin steak, and a baked potato.
So, Dr. Coffin, what you're telling me is when we come to Indianapolis Whorehound, you're going to bring us baked potatoes, right?
That sounds good.
I mean, you're a new father again. I don't
Side
expect
note,
you to buy a
With our indoor grill, there are certain things that should become more regular staples in our diet.
You mean like steak?
Steak. It's so easy to clean up after them. It's so easy to cook them. And
Don't make me leave your stream right now and run to Ralph's and buy 2 steaks.
You can also make, you know, chicken breast. We make grilled chicken sandwiches.
Bacon.
Sure. We're being healthy. Remember, sweet. That sounds
Bacon's
delicious.
healthy.
Dr. Coffin Nails. But yes, and then to wrap up, we've got
So I just text Sean Firefart
yeah.
a picture of James Bond pointing a gun at his face. I was like, guess who?
Yes. Okay, Sean can come Wednesday. Awesome.
So can I.
Okay, and then theoretically Thursday as well. Awesome. Everyone join us Wednesday for an awesome panel discussion with me, Jeff, and Sean Firefart as to why the fuck Looney Tunes is against guns now. Possibly with additional contributors if we decide we want more people. But yes, Private Halo 117. What?
Okay, sorry. Go your show.
Yeah.
I was reading about Anna stuff. Sorry, I was getting
Cool.
worried
You'll have to
about it.
tell me more when you find out. Private Halo 117. They don't even need the governor, chief of police. The chief of police actually is capable of calling the Pentagon, and demanding help, bypassing the governor in any state. So what you're saying, Private Halo 117, is that when people become too, I did not know that. That's really interesting. So when people become too aggressive with the police departments and these movements to defund the police actually has the authority to call in the Pentagon and help get military aid to defend themselves. This will be really interesting. This will be really interesting to see how this plays out with a vocal populist percentage of the populace demanding a defunding of the police department, and a president who likes to call himself the law and order president.
Is he
Jeff?
a special victims unit or I don't know the other Law and Order show, so my joke is dead. Anyway,
on a scale of 1 to not at all, how likely do you think the president is going to be to get on board with the defunding the police movement?
not at all is not strong enough. Come on. I feel like any rational person's going to be like, here's the thing though, when do we get into like, who's going to help settle traffic disputes? You know?
Oh yeah. God, we haven't even gotten to traffic disputes.
Theft. What's going to stop common criminals? Because then you're going to get like, okay, store owners, we've just been hit with coronavirus. Everyone's on edge. You're trying to make up for whatever you lost for the 10 weeks or whatever many months you were out of business. People are out of work. They're going to come in. They want something. They take it. What's it going to stop? Are you going to have to apprehend them? What if you're an old store owner? Eventually, you're going to need some kind of, you may not even need the police to be there, but you need the threat of them out there.
You need the
You need to worry like, oh shit, if I steal this TV from Best Buy, I might get arrested. Not what are they going to do?
Right. If I steal from this TV Best Buy, nothing will
Because
happen.
the thing is, if you get an industrious employee who tackles you, then there's a lawsuit. Then there's there's no good that comes from any of this.
Of course, exactly. Yep. Little things too, like police reports are intrinsic in settling accidents. You know, when there's an accident that happens, the police are called to the scene immediately to determine fault. Right? That's one of the things they do is they come to the scene, they determine fault. So if you are the injured party in an accident, having a police report that says the other person was at fault goes a long way in getting you, whatever you deserve from getting hit by a fucking car, and this is very close and near and dear to me, having gone through an accident. but that's one of the things. And mine was a cut and dry, open shut. You know, the nobody was arguing whether or not I was in the right. And the insurance company still, when it was left to the insurance companies, again, the driver who hit me, the pedestrian in a crosswalk. It's about as open shut as you get. I am the pedestrian in the crosswalk with the light. The other driver struck me with her vehicle. I was on foot.
I played that game of Clue once. It was a good one.
It's as open and shut as you can get. And still the insurance company, because I didn't wait around for a police report. Everything was pretty much, I was traumatized. I got hit by a car. It was, kind of in trauma, and I went to the ER. And ultimately they were, of course, found at fault. And I did eventually, after a long time of fighting them, get my medical bills covered. Eventually, fuck insurance companies. But my point is that that's the hassle that I went through without a police report. On an open and shut, cut and dry, the letter of the law and the spirit of the law could not be clearer in protecting me in that situation. And I still had an insurance company trying to fight to screw me over. So in situations that are contested, where that police report could mean the difference between, somebody getting their deserved settlement and somebody having their entire life ruined, because not only they're laid up in the hospital and they lose their job, but they get jack shit from the insurance company to cover it, and are permanently disabled and can't afford a lawyer, and so they get screwed. That's then these things happen. These things will happen, and they will happen continuously without enforcing. And these are coming from two people who are not necessarily keen on the police.
No, and what about all the unemployment? Too, if you're gonna let's just say you defund the police, they're like, sorry, we have nothing for you here.
Sure,
those are people that when you look at the police, some people look at it as a career that's a forever, like a career, because it shouldn't go anywhere.
No,
like firefighters, you don't go anywhere.
Exactly.
You're always necessary for society. Even if your role morphs into, we want to be goodwill ambassadors for society, like people on the rookie are.
Sure.
They still deal with shit when it goes down. Somebody's got to be down or there to deal with the shit.
And that's the whole point too. Is like, and now when you say defund the police, do you mean just the active, on duty task force? Are you getting rid of detectives? Are you getting rid of, all of that stuff? Like, where are you? Because if you're defunding, that's blanket, that's sweeping. And again,
who's going to stop all the digital crimes that go on right now? I'm not worried about piracy. I'm talking about identity theft. That's a real thing that the police do investigate. The FBI is going to take on all these new roles, because all that's going to happen is you're going to go, we don't want police, we want this person. Okay, the police get replaced by the military. Then it gets worse.
True.
Because the military has
There's
bigger
also
guns.
the thing with the police are the ones, they gather your reports. If you have a minor incident to report, and sometimes these minor incidents are the things that add up into, them taking down a serious criminal. Let's say, I report my credit card got stolen at this restaurant. Great. And then 5 other people report that the credit card gets stolen at the same restaurant. Now they can narrow their search to restaurant employees or people who live in the area or people who frequent the restaurant. Let's 5 different people's credit cards get stolen. It turns out the common denominator is that restaurant, right? That takes police work to figure out, because I make a report to the police, and then those 5 other people also make reports to the police if they know their credit card got stolen somewhere, and then that's how they figure it out. Now, okay, and it's again, if it's all that happens to be the same credit card company, maybe the credit card company would figure it out. But how do credit card companies do a lot of their investigating? They give the information to the police, because the police, again, you have a governing body who, and again, to get things done quickly, there is a certain amount of red tape that is lifted for the police. Not all of it, because it's important to have due process and things like that, but there's certain things the police are able to do or get access to that other people are not, that makes their jobs easier. It makes it expedite their level of police work. That if you just start community programs to catch credit card thieves, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to have a database where you cross-reference every credit card that happened in a certain area in a certain period of time and see if there's any common denominators and where these people shot, which is what these places do. Or what a police department does when they're trying to apprehend a criminal. Because guess what? The credit card company can say, oh, hey, we've found with 3 different people all went to this restaurant and now their credit card information stolen here. Police maybe investigate this, but they can't go, bang down the doors of this, built place and demand security footage. The police can do that. The police can get the security footage. So, yes. Anyway, it's a lot that the police do that you don't realize. And this, again, coming from 2 people who are not super keen on police officers in general, based on our personal life experiences in a whole, do not necessarily have positive feelings about police. I certainly don't. I know you don't.
No.
You've stated as much before on your stream as well. But we still 100% acknowledge the need to have them in our society. And now, if you please, press the like button. Private Halo Woman 7 says, I'm actually talking to my cousin. He's committing an officer who is a general in the Pentagon. Oh, that's all I know so much. That's how I know so much. Also, they suck at chess. That's funny. Oh, that's cool. Private Halo 117. That is. I did not know any of that, so I'm glad we have you here to tell us that, because that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's suck at chess.
I didn't know that.
You're
Yes,
good at
sucking
chess, right?
No, I'm terrible at chess. I don't have the patience for chess. I can see, like, in my mind, I look at this, I'm like, I see exactly how you analyze this game and analyze your opponent and think every number of steps ahead, and it's really cool and way too long and tiresome for me. I'll go Fence Saber instead. For you non-fencers out there, it's a joke because people say that epee is like chess because it's slow and it takes forever. And so people are like, oh, fencing is like physical chess. I'm like, that's just epee. The rest of us move faster. Saber, it's like speed chess if speed chess were actually fast. But yes. Are you good at chess?
I played 3 times.
Cool. So you're not particularly keen on chess either. Okay.
What?
Fuck
I'm
chess.
keen on Mario Kart.
Yes. Bruce Lombardo says, as someone with 48 credit hours in Leo classes. Thanks, Bruce Lombardo. We love you. That's well, we're glad we have you. We're glad. I can't my words. We are glad we have your support, Bruce.
Because we took 1 shot, and 1 shot makes us
I
weird.
didn't think about that shot.
Yeah.
Does it make it weird now? Are we that far off?
No.
of our
When
drinking?
one shot makes you weird, kind of tells you out.
So you're saying we should do another shot? Because someone needs to
The
send.
audience request.
So you're saying someone needs to send.
We have bottles of liquor, Jesse.
We do.
And
We have.
this is our last Monday stream ever.
This is our last Monday streamer. That's true. I didn't even get to that part.
Yeah, because everyone's like, Farewell to Mondays, Farewell to Arms. I get that joke. No, this is the last Monday
No, this is
show.
actually the last Monday show that I'll be doing for a while, for the foreseeable future, for who knows how long, because as things are slowly returning back to normal, I am going to have some opportunities to return to my regularly scheduled Monday activities, which are going to preclude my ability to do a stream. And even if they didn't, I just would want to come home and do a live stream after that. So this is it for Monday. This is my Monday swan song, as it were, my Ron Swan song, my Monday Ron Swan song. I think
Thank you for playing it.
he probably hates Mondays too.
He is a walking Monday.
I love Ron Swanson. Don't speak ill of him.
He's still not my favorite character.
So, yeah, exactly. People calling to defund the police, no idea what to replace them with. They don't. It's because they're not reading. That's because a few people were like, "Oh, I thought extensively about how to ultimately defund a police department over time with social change and community reform, et cetera, are now like, oh, people are caring about what I have to say. Let me talk more about getting rid of the police. It's a talking point. My time has come." And they also forget all that careful time they've spent thinking through how you actually go about accomplishing a society that doesn't have an active present police force. So yeah, because people are dumb. They're like, it's my time to shine. It's my time in the spotlight. But anyway, this we all got on this because we got onto the point of, well, we got some super chats about it too, but also onto the point of why we need guns. Because when there is no police, there'll be something, and I want to be able to defend myself against whatever that something ends up being.
Because we don't have lightsaber technology yet.
Not yet.
So.
I don't need to be the something. I just need to defend myself against it.
How about
23 likes from 100?
mechanized? Oh shit, 100 people watching. Oh yeah. How about a mechanized shit pancake?
Jimmy! We'll build him a little suit. We'll put him in the little front of it.
He's like War Machine. How you like that?
How you like that?
No, what's the line he says in the movie? You looking for these?
Oh, you looking for these?
There you go.
You looking for these? I got him right here for you. Jimmy, hello.
Could you imagine War Machine's helmet comes off? It's just a little cat that
As
looks
he
like a mongoose.
zips into battle, he goes, hello.
Yeah. Thanos is like, what is that?
Hello.
And the Avengers win the day.
Hooray for me. Hooray for Shibigay.
They have a parade in his honor.
Hooray! A Shibigay parade. I want a parade. What's a parade? Oh, Mom. Oh, what's a parade? Oh, what's a parade?
It's when a bunch of people come out and celebrate you shit pancake.
Hooray for me. What's a bunch?
Hundreds.
Do I not know these people?
You know none of them.
That might be scary.
Why? They're not going to talk to you or touch you. They're just going to cheer your name and say hooray for shit pancake.
Turns out I'm not a big fan of strangers. So, unless can we do the parade in my house?
I have some good news and some bad news, shit pancake.
Yes, Papa.
Yes, we can do the parade indoors.
Hooray!
Bad news is the world's full of strangers. Billions of them.
Oh, I don't see them. But
You might see some.
If they're in my house, it's okay. Strangers are. It's okay.
What
Strangers
about
are
in
okay if they're in my house.
What about in the hallway?
The hallway's fine if there's no strangers.
Okay.
No strangers in the hallway.
But strangers are going to be in the hallway, shit pancake. They have to get to their homes.
I don't like the hallway when there's strangers in it.
So maybe you should never go in the hallway.
Well,
Because there could always be a stranger out there.
I'll just leave. I'll just leave with this.
Just go sleep on my printer that you fucked up.
Hooray! My Surface! I love that Surface. It's warm.
When I buy a Surface Tablet Pro, that little cat better stay off of it.
And sometimes it makes noises and vibrates and stuff.
Oh, when the power went off today,
Uh-huh.
that came back on and they were on it and they jumped.
I'm sure they did. If we had tigers on, yes, Buggy Demas, I propose we replace the police force with tigers.
Wait, didn't that work for the Model UN one time?
Oh yes, which country replaced all of its resources? Was it Finland that replaced all of its resources with lions?
Yes.
I believe it was. I believe Finland. The cats are around. They're napping. I actually can't even see a single one of them from where I am.
They're right here.
Oh, there's one right
There's
there.
Spush, the biggest one.
Bush. He's on his box mountain. So we got all of Jeff's comics, and now there's a box mountain. And Joe Exotic can be the police chief.
I mean, I'm not going to because I know what's in there, but I'm so ready to just crack open these boxes.
That'll be fun. We will soon.
Tomorrow.
We are 22 likes away from 100. If everyone watching it presses the like button, will be over 100 in seconds. Like 5
And
of
then
them.
we can have
maybe.
dinner.
Dinner's good. But yes, last Monday we watched the chicken. Fucking
If Monday was a video, it'd be the chick getting knocked off her horse.
getting clotheslined by the traffic light. That was
or the
fucking
stormtrooper who
funny.
falls down the stairs.
Or that.
That's my favorite video on YouTube.
That's a great video. We should watch it after this.
Now?
I said after this.
Oh, yeah. I keep a copy on my computer at all times.
Good. It's important. But yeah. So the world is stupid. We're going to talk about Looney Tunes and why they're taking our guns away on Wednesday. Tomorrow, the Rookie Critic's going to be here with Tom from Minute's Edge again, and we're going to talk about movies. Tomorrow's the movie stream. It's all about movies. So bring your movie stuff and be ready to shame people.
Bruce, Jesse's not great.
No.
She's talking in first person as shit pancake.
Yes, that's Shit Pancake's voice. He talks to... No, yes, no babies.
I mean, I may or may have not spent many a nights talking in bed to talking to shit pancake.
Talking to Shit Pancake!
Where the hell is he? I kind of want to look at him now.
I always want to look at him. Beth says nearly every country that got rid of their police force turned into a military state, and you don't want a military state. No, we don't. That seems like the opposite of what the people calling to defund the police force wants. And Beth, I have not done the same level of research on it, so I'll take your word for it, because that does seem like the likely outcome. It really does. Either you devolve into chaos, and that's the whole thing, is we don't even have a leader of like, there are no leaders in this movement. Name one person who you would say is our leader right now in terms of, Black rights, is our leader in terms of social justice, is our leader. Who are our leaders? Who are our figureheads that we turn to for direction on, social justice in these trying times? Who is there?
Reginald Bell Johnson. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
Carl Winslow, Family Matters. Al Powell, Die Hard, the black cop. His friend. The cop that he calls on the ground, the Twinkie guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen Family Matters?
You know how long it's been since I've seen Die Hard?
I don't know.
Hours. I wake up every morning and watch Die Hard for a few minutes.
You don't. It's a lie.
I go to the bathroom in the mornings. I'm watching Die Hard.
Lies. You've not watched Die Hard every morning.
I'm playing my Avengers game. But I think about Die Hard every morning.
Sure.
I do.
Um,
Look, it is morning somewhere right now in the world, and I'm currently thinking about Die Hard.
Well, sure. Die Hard is pretty great, but
Even in the chat, Die Hard is awesome, says Santa Baby.
Die Hard is awesome. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. If they are, leave. I mean, just kidding. You can be here if you don't like Die Hard, I guess. But like, why would you want to be alive? Also, this hair, it's getting cut on Wednesday.
No.
2 more streams, or 1 more stream. 2 more. No, just 1 more stream with it like this. This one and 1 more, and then bye-bye. So Wednesday stream. You'll see it if you catch the matriarchy on that Star Wars Girls channel this week, and you'll see it Wednesday night when we have Sean here to talk about Looney Tunes. Because that's why you have your gun experts come on your channel. Private Halo Woman 7 says we can dress. What?
Skip it.
I did? Oh, yeah, 2 came in right away. I thought it was just 1. There were 2. Haha. There we go. Bruce Lombardo says, well, it kind of makes me sad that we have celebrities going out like Alec Baldwin and Team America, World Police talking about policy. What the fuck?
Matt Damon.
I haven't been following up the ones who are doing. I know you're talking about Brie Larson, supporting the defund the police and whatnot, which is idiotic beyond all belief. Because that's the thing is like, she has a right, like any private citizen, like any citizen, to want to defund the police and want to sign a petition to do it. What she doesn't have the right to do is talk as if she has some sort of moral authority because she's a fucking actor, that's what it bothers me. If you want to take up arms and you want to say, well, I have this position, I have these feelings, and I want to talk about the things I care about. Now that's where I'm fine with that. That's cool. You can talk about whatever you talk about. I don't, because that's like, it's wrong. Like, you can talk about it. I can talk about it. Emperor 9, Borgport, we can all talk about these things or do these things. I think it's disingenuous to try to say, well, an actor's not allowed to. Like, I hate it when actors talk about politics. Okay, well, do you hate all your friends when they talk about politics too? Maybe it's possible, and that's very likely. I hate a lot of my friends sometimes when they won't shut up about politics. But the reality is they're still people, they're still human beings, and if they want to talk about politics, they can. If they want to use their platforms to discuss these things, they can. What they should not be doing, which so many of them unfortunately do, is act like they have some sort of authority on the subject. Act like we should trust them because of their position. You want to just be a person and say, hey, I'm a guy just like you and I have these feelings and I have these stances. That's one thing. But to act like you should trust me because I am an Academy Award winning actor and therefore I'm right about things that have nothing to do with me or my life. That's when it gets disingenuous bullshit. And that's what so many of them do, which I think what rubs us all the wrong way. So amen, Bruce Lombardo. Yeah, when you get to be Alec Baldwin standing on Kim Jong-il's stage trying to play policymaker. Sorry, you should have gone into politics. It's a real job, too. That actually takes work, even if we don't respect a lot of our politicians. There are requirements to become a politician, not president, but requirements to become a politician, typically, generally speaking, that tend to indicate you have a certain level of expertise or knowledge, at least in your field, which actors don't have just by virtue of being actors. Me?
You just keep scrolling like crazy.
I don't know. I just do it. It's like a fidget thing.
Oh.
I just do that with the chat. Sometimes I fidget with the chat the same way that I fidget with hands. But now I have to figure out where I am because Private Halo. No, this one that I was trying to get back to. I did read that when I was going to Private Halo, so this is the one I wanted. We can dress up monkeys in the knight armor for a new police force. Be awesome until it's not and people die from them.
So are they going to be called Night Monkey?
Night Monkey!
Fucking hate them.
Yes, we'll have Night Monkeys. I like the way he spelled it though. It sounds like we're going to dress up members of the band The Monkees.
As the Beatles.
And I like this even better. So I support this. I think we should just dress up. We should find. Are they still alive? We should dress them up.
Mike Nesmith, I think, is dead.
They should be our police force. I'm about this life. That would be great. I'm for tigers personally. I'm for policing with tigers, but we'll put monkeys on the table. We'll allow them into the discussion. What do you think? When it comes to tigers or monkeys, where would you stand on your police force?
Oh fuck, tigers.
Tigers.
Because when you call, you're done. Like if you have the threat of being ripped apart, I think everyone will stop whatever. But then again, those tigers have to have handlers, and it just
monkeys can use guns.
Yeah, but they also like sniff their own ass to fall out of trees.
That's true. I just think it'd be cool to have tiger cops. All right, let us know in the chat right now. Tiger or monkey? What do you want for your police force? Tiger or monkey? In the meantime, Blue Blood 71 says, Prior Ellie here. Good cops are leaving now. They're fed up. Oh, so shockingly a lot like what happened in the medical department. Defunding will result in less training and lower hiring standards. Yeah, ironically, we're going to end up with worse police after all this, not better. Thank you, Blue Blood 71. This is the first thing I said about this, because obviously the intent of this defund movement is to do away with the police entirely. But the whole thing is when you just defund a department, it doesn't go away, okay? You still have a police, because again, there's nothing to replace it. So you're just going to have a non-funded police department. And why do you think that taking the money away is somehow going to result in better hiring practices and better business practices in general? Bankrupting a division of local government is not going to somehow make it operate more efficiently. You will have exactly that. You'll have less training, lower hiring standards. You'll have, because people will not, it'll be a less enticing, and you have to do that because it becomes a less enticing field to go into. You have to lower your standards for who you're going to hire and allow on the force because you just need people. Maybe you can't fire that racist cop now because there's literally no one to replace him because nobody wants that job except for idiots who want to run around with a gun, which, just buy a gun and don't be a jerk about it. But yeah, I don't understand why people think that defunding is the police is somehow going to make them better or is going to improve anything at all. It's going to make it worse. Oversight, overhaul, problem solving to figure out, where these things go wrong, what we can implement into a police department to prevent these things. These are all positive changes we can make right now, but without massive sweeping community overhaul and overhaul of the Justice Department and the prison system in this country, you do not have an option. You do not have an option of just getting rid of the police tomorrow. You still need them. So why not focus on these other things? And again, focusing on the wrong shit. Finally, we have a focus for this movement. I talked about this extensively while this started out. What's our focus? What do we actually want from this? Okay, people have figured out a focus. Get rid of the police. No one has the patience or the intelligence to realize that there's about a zillion steps before that. Everyone just wants what they want, and they want it now, and they won't be satisfied with any less than that. Any attempts to do community overhaul and reduce crime in communities is going to just be written off as some bullshit. Oh, you're not trying to fix, you're just trying to fix these little things and gloss over the real problem, or you're just racist and you don't understand and blah. And we'll just pull the race card and be retarded like that so that nothing can ever get done because we don't want solutions, because if we have solutions, then we don't have things to bitch about anymore. So there you go. RC Scott, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey guys, took tomorrow off and doing some late night writing. Matt Damon.
Good writing.
Good writing. I support this. Mr. Another says, can I suggest a couple Halloween costume? Kylo Ren and Rey Skywalker for you two. Jeff would make a hot Rey if you ask me.
If you're going to be Kylo Ren from the... you have to be Ben Swallow.
I'll be Ben Swallow. I'll be shirtless.
It's fine. Then I'll go dressed as Rey if you're going to be naked for the most part.
I'll be topless. I'll get arrested, but I'll be topless. We'll just do it in the Comfortable Run house. I'll just be all the way naked.
And I just won't dress up. And you just say,
Neither
your,
will I.
your name's Ray, right? Yeah, Ray Stance. I'm a Ghostbuster.
Jay Hando4 says, the whole Looney Tunes thing is a BS and then some. Could not agree more, Jay Hando4. We're going to dive deep into that on Wednesday when we bring in our resident gun expert, Sean Firefart of Go Big More or Go Home. And he'll theoretically possibly be back on Thursday to drink with us.
People are going nuts in the chat. This Anna stuff must be big.
I guess so. We should probably address it. Private Halo 117 says, Blueblood 71. Nice Robotech picture. Good franchise. Yeah. And Mr. Another says, I blame Carol Baskin for cops. I think that's reasonable. I can get behind that. What about you?
Yeah. The only thing I want from police to go away is that terrible show Cops. I hate that show. Fucking bitch. Dude, G4 used to be a video game channel. It was great. Then they merged with Tech TV, and it was really good. Then it became nothing but Cops and Star Trek The Next Generation reruns and bad reality shows.
Lame.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
It was. My life has never been the same.
Very sorry. It's going to touch your chest.
Yeah, I'm going to touch yours.
What was I going to say? Oh, had some gun talk on Anna's. Then we got taken down. Shocking. So yeah, what are you reading here?
I mean, people just she got taken down. Can somebody fill us in on the details of Anna's stuff?
Yes.
Somebody said she
taken
looked
down.
too
Someone said it was
young.
for looking too young. So does anyone know for sure why Anna's stream got taken down? What was I going to say? Oh, did you ever? I don't even know when it was out. It was a show. It was like Adam 117, I think was the show. Something like that. Adam something.
Adam 12.
Adam 12. That's what it was. I'm just thinking Adam 117's rookie. That's their call signs.
You say 1-7?
Or not one. That's the one.
That's him. Private Halo 117 from Halo.
Adam, yeah, I'm doing. My brain is doing. Things.
Cinema Tech.
Adam
yeah.
12. A cop once told me that they think that is the most police realistic.
You told me that once
show.
too.
Probably because the cop told me
I
that.
thought the most realistic cop show was Reno 911.
I only watched
That
a little bit. So
That show's as good as Parks and Rec.
Mr. Another says Joe Exotic for police commissioner of the U.S. of A. Now you're talking, Mr. Another. I say we just replace all the local police departments with one United States police department, of which Joe Exotic is the
It's going to say Black Lives Matter.
They just, what happened?
I don't know how they're like Englished.
Why?
Why? This is what I want to know. Why somebody has that sign?
That's amazing.
It's a bottle of dish soap.
I don't understand why people are weird. Anyway, God, then he can be king of the jungle and the police. What do you think?
Anything that Joe Exotic anything where Joe Exotic gains an office of power that doesn't affect my life, give it to him. Because that guy...
Joe Exotic for frontman of World Class Bullshitters.
No, Joe Exotic for comptroller of Mid-Michigan.
There you go.
Here, kitty.
8 likes from 100, bitches. 8 likes from 100.
Anna gets violating community guidelines, yet Jake Paul's still walking around. Wait. I just was curious because she's our friend. So
Yeah, I'm still trying to find out more.
wrong.
I'll always text her if I need to. They were talking. Oh, were they talking about the Looney Tunes? Huh. Yeah.
You okay there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why.
You sound like a car
I'll shoot her a text.
racing.
I'm going to text Anna right now. Hey. Yeah.
Anyway, you have super chat.
Everything good? I'm just texting Anna.
You want to read
I'll read it in a
Scott?
second.
Okay.
Chat's telling me about how another one of your streams got taken down. There we go. God damn. RC Scott says, are either of you interested in reading my stuff? I can send a short story to Jesse's email. Hope you like gore. Yeah, send it. Send away, RC Scott. We will take a look-see. We're always interested in new and fun stuff, especially by independent creators. Or I am. I can't speak for Jeff. Jeff hates new things. And
Yes. Hi, ML Maven. What's up to you too?
independent creators and
mean, like
independence.
Day?
and freedom.
And Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff hates all of these things.
I love Jeff Goldblum. How dare you? Will Smith depends on the film.
Agreed. But thank you, RC Scott. We definitely would love to check some of that out. So please send away. If you need me to remind you, I can always post my email down here, but it's up in the about section over. Also, for the rest of you, me.mindless entertainment at gmail.com. If you need to, tell me things, you can tell me them there. Mr. Another says, let's replace the death penalty with that you have to marry both the Tiger King and Carol Baskin.
That is cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, I think we're going to rule that cruel and unusual. Now, if it's just Joe the Tiger King, if you just become one of his many husbands,
That's even more cruel.
I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah. So cool. His art has been talking in the chat about like how people there used to be this people like my 8-year-old said this one thing. Oh my God, bless children, look at them go. But it's all these like dumb shit that your 8-year-old definitely didn't say, and you're just trying to somehow be important on Twitter.
Your kid doesn't know about the socioeconomic impact of Ecuador.
Guys, if you want to be important on Twitter, just declare yourself a KKK supporter. You'll get, 59 likes and only lose 1 follower. Cool. So, hey, Jeff Goldblum's in Pittsburgh. I did not know that. Harrenberg.
He found a way.
He did, just like life does.
That's my sentiment.
Yawning?
Yeah, I'm tired.
It's Monday. I still have 92 likes. I'm very sad. I'd really like to have 100 likes, but I can't. I guess
Can't
you
all
can't
be
have it all.
winners now, can we?
You can't have it all. Okay. Bruce Martin sent us an email at Discord. He's
Gotta set up ours. I want to.
talk to us about why it's useful and stuff. He's telling me, presumably, why it's useful.
We could have a Discord for our Twitch channel.
But it's just kind of like a message board, sort
Kinda.
of.
The thing is, you can post shit there, and the only reason we never did it is because there was a YouTuber situation where some people were posting images that shouldn't exist. We'll just leave it like that in their Discord, and they got in trouble. So that is why we don't have one.
That sucks.
So the only way I would do it is if we took that option, like seriously moderation, because I just don't want that showing up.
Well, like other people were posting on theirs?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like some YouTuber posted something stupid and got in trouble. Fans, like people that have access to it, were posting some repugnant shit.
And the YouTuber got in trouble? That's
by
stupid.
people. They're like saying like your community allows this. You know what I'm saying?
That's stupid.
So that's why I haven't really touched it too much. One bad egg.
Fair enough. Mr. Another says, what if instead of gun control, he makes bullets cost $10,000? I forget the comedian that said that. I don't remember who said that too. I don't remember who it was now, but I remember that. I remember hearing that joke.
If you hypothetically did that, people would just make their own bullets.
You could.
We watch Supernatural enough; they make their own bullets on the show.
They do. I actually do think that, though, that in general, ammo regulation is more practical than gun regulation. But like that's because whatchamacallit, I can obviously Sean Big Borger Go Home will disagree vehemently with any of my perspectives on, regulation and control of any kind whatsoever, because he's a psychopath. He's just obsessed with guns. He's insane. No, we can all have reasonable discussions, is the point I'm trying to make. No, but if it wasn't fair, I'm like, what if, look, you can totally limit the amount of like killing rounds somebody can have, and you can use different types of rounds. Like if you're like academically need to know what a bullet does because fun or something, whatever, you like write an essay as to why you should have guns or why you need this particular type of ammo. But obviously though, there's also things like if you're into shooting and stuff like that, if you change the bullet, it changes how it comes out, and not every gun you're gonna be able to manufacture the right kinds of non-lethal rounds for. And I don't know enough about it to know how easy it would or would not be. I think we should too. We can talk all about ammo and different things and ways to make guns safer for people, or rather make people safer for guns. Because I think that's really where we're at. Like anything can be safe or dangerous depending on how you treat it.
Didn't they try to say that horse was a weapon?
Oh yeah, horses were weapons earlier. So ban horses.
More people have been killed with guitars than vending machines.
True.
So what do we wipe out both?
Get rid of vending machines and guitars.
The world would be a shittier place.
Social Justice Wednesday is gonna advocate banning horses from now on. Banning horses since they're weapons. Social justice, Jesse. Yep. So there you go. Hold on. Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry, I was just thinking of something interesting. I'm trying to figure out what this exchange in the chat was about, but it's fine. Cool. So, words. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Not really.
Oh, we're at 99 likes. That's cool. All right. So, Jeff, I'll let you pick since you're the official guest tonight on Mindless Entertainment.
Indiana Jones Mad Libs.
Okay.
Since we never get to use them anymore.
Well, because they've been lost until just now.
Like the Ark of the Covenant?
Yes. We found it.
Depends on your book.
I'm aware.
To be fair, that was
your book.
It was easy. It was easier to find Indiana Jones Mad Libs than that.
Found him.
I found him, yes. But Indiana Jones Mad Libs found me. You didn't even let me finish my setup. I'm not mad.
Okay. Mr. Another says, I find that every pregnancy eventually leads to death over time. Ban pregnancy, right? Absolutely. Ban pregnancy. All pregnancy leads to death. Mr. Another is true. Is right. So, fun fact, all pregnancy ultimately results in the not just the death of the fetus, but the death of the mother too. And not getting pregnant.
And the doctor.
And the doctor.
And the
every human in the world, actually.
Unless you're Rob Lowe's character from Parks and Rec, you're not going to live to be 150.
That's true.
So, Mad Libs.
Driving cars should definitely be banned.
And boats and trains.
Drinking water should probably be banned because it has killed people.
People drown every day.
People do. People drown. People drown. People have drowned from drinking water, just drinking the water.
You could die in 3 inches of water. You should not be allowed to have more than 3 inches of water around the
ever. And no more baths. Ban baths.
No more cans of drinks. That's more than 3 inches.
Yep. Redesign all cans so that they're actually just flat and you sort of sip awkwardly out of them. Ban everything.
I'm just laughing at Doxy Mama.
I'm laughing at toxic masculinity.
I didn't take back one Kadan to worship the Hebrew god, to which whatever they say in the movie.
Beth is ready for Mad Libs. She ain't fucking around. Dead sperm whale. All right, let's see. We don't have an animal, so that will just go in as noun.
Don't
And
forget crotch custard. That's a super chat from Mr. Another.
we only have plural nouns. So I guess we're going to have dead sperm whales tonight. And I guess we're okay. So let me pull up because I know Beth sent one on Wednesday, but we don't do one on the matriarchy stream. So I do have to quickly find that screenshot I took under all the ones for beers. Fluffernutter. That's what I thought. So fluffernutter is a plural. Well, they'll be gonna have to be fluffernutters, I guess, because it's plural.
Crusty socks.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're not gonna do. Oh, point of order. Crotch custard. Is this going to be a part of the body or plural?
Part of the body.
Part of the body.
Nastier that one.
There you go. Crotch custard. It is. And
What is my word, by the way?
your word is going to be an adjective.
Yay.
They're taking all the good ones. Crusty socks.
I'm gonna send you a super chat just to fucking usurp them.
You might have to.
Adjective. Let's see.
Crusty socks. Are you there in the chat? You guys are also getting an adjective to start. So contemplate your adjectives.
I'm gonna go with spicy.
Spicy. Spicy it is. All right. I also have an adjective. Oh, thank you, Bruce Lombardo, for the crusty socks, and Mr. Another for the crotch custard, and Beth to go
You
for
don't
the
thank
dead
me for the
sperm
crusty
whales,
socks.
and
Flamin' hot Cheetos on a sex lube. Or as sex lube.
thank you, Mr. Another, for flaming hot Cheetos as sex lube. Okay. I'm going to try to do this the old-fashioned way and not actually write them down in the bottom, but just reference back up and see if it works. Save me some time. Just make the reading a little more awkward. I just don't want to write Flaming Hot Cheetos as sex lube again. Thank you, Mr. Another. All right, so I also have an adjective, and my adjective is going to be moist, which we really haven't used much of, which I'm surprised. Numerous, logical, forbidden, opinionated. Ooh, festering. Good.
Do it.
Frothy. Unwarranted. Unwarranted is a good one. Holocron Library Fox. I'm going to take unwarranted. I feel like that could be fun. All right. Chat, you guys are getting another adjective, so keep them coming. Jeff, you get a verb.
Let's see.
Ooh, Private Halo Woman 7 says I make my own ammunition for my guns. A lot of them.
Stuff.
Nice. Well, Private Halo Woman 7, you'll definitely want to join us in on Wednesday. We're bringing our gun guy on, and he's a lot of fun, so you can definitely talk guns. Did you say what? Stuff. Like to stuff something. Cool.
It's too far and no
I need
language.
a different pen for this notebook because for whatever reason, some pens.
Yeah, because this belongs in the museum. Should be right now.
All right, Indy. I
So
got
do you.
a verb ending in ing.
Museuming.
Let's go with breaking.
Into a museum?
Wienering.
In a museum?
Breaking. Okay. Adjective from the chat. Squishy. Phantasmagorical. Also good. Glowing.
Museumy. I like that one.
Museumy. You made that
What?
up. Squishy. Terminating. I kind of like squishy.
Squishy it does.
Squishy from the James Baker.
Shitting from Toxic Masculinity.
That's a good one, actually. I kind of want to change mine to shitting now.
Too late, you can't go back.
All right. Next time. Squishy.
Shitting bricks. You shouldn't speak like that. Fine. Shitting rocks.
All right, the James Baker, thank you for that. And chat, since you guys
Halo SJW.
ate up SJWs. That's plural now. Thank you, Private Halo. SJW is now in the Mad Lib as a plural. And yeah, well, chat, since super chats have used the majority of words in this entire Mad Lib, you guys can finish this off with a place. Any place will do. And Jeff, you get a part of the body. Possible.
Nipples. Or a nipple, whatever.
Nipple. And I didn't even arrange that for you. You just always get the body parts.
Yes. I want
get it.
your body parts.
Adverb. I'm going to go with shittily.
Shittily, huh?
There you go. Shittily.
You got shit on the brain?
Yes. All right. A place from
Quiet place. Somebody should respond with that. Would you take it?
Maybe. Possibly. Depending. Do. Uranus. That's a place. Yeah, that's funny. Hannah's future Batcave. Carol Baskin's Tiger Sanctuary.
Is that a name for her vagina?
That's so upsetting. The Vatican. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm torn between Uranus and Joe Exotic's prison cell.
I would recommend Uranus, since of all the Mad Libs we've done, and no one's ever said Uranus.
We've
like,
never
as the
done
place,
one. Yeah,
not like your anus.
that's funny. Okay, you guys ready for? I didn't even tell you what the title was. We did that one without even knowing. God, I wonder.
Can we always do it without knowing the title? Because it adds.
Sure.
Really, like even the After Dark ones, it adds so much more.
Sure thing.
Because people are trying to do themes and all this shit.
All right, guys. So tonight we just told the story of how to make friends with your elephant by the one and only Willie Scott.
Oh God.
All right. On the way to Pancott Palace, Indy, Shorty, and I had to ride on big, smelly, dead sperm whales.
Ew.
That's so perfect. When I first got my spicy elephant, I thought I might fall off and crack my crotch custard open.
That's what they called it back then, huh?
Or die from the moist smell. But I soon learned that with just a little perfume and a lot of patience, you can become unwarranted friends with an elephant. Yeah, elephant don't want that shit.
Yeah.
But try not to get too close. Your elephant will want to stuff you will want to stuff with you all the time. Cool. What are you stuffing with your elephant? I don't know. I don't know if I want to. Even when I was breaking by the campfire.
Like break dancing?
Just breaking, I guess so. That squishy elephant kept trying to put its nipple around my neck or in my hair. I just had to show it who was boss, so I flung its trunk as shittily as I could. After that, we were like two crusty socks in a pod. Oh, it kind of makes sense. I enjoyed riding the elephant much more than riding in a plane that didn't have any flaming hot Cheetos as lube. Yeah. Who rides in those fucking terrible planes
Only
these days?
Industries.
Oh, God. Steering it. Yes, I always love when my flaming hot Cheetos as lube steer my plane. Or going through a mine shaft in a cart that didn't have any SJWs. Always dangerous. Come to think of it, that elephant was probably the best thing about my trip to Uranus.
You know what I've realized, sadly, in this Spanish Mad Libs? Indiana Jones does not lend itself to much like Star Wars does. They're great movies, but like these books, it's a stretch. Like, let me tell you about Willie Scott's adventure with a fucking elephant.
Yeah, at least those are like the ways
Indiana
of the
Jones
Force.
is the greatest
There's
character in the films. Let's stop trying to talk about the side characters.
Right. Like there's a whole mythos in Star Wars where you can talk about the Force or the ships or Jedi or the bad guys.
Here's the difference. There's a world of Star Wars. Indiana Jones just takes place in our world.
You can't even do one from the perspective of the bad guys because they're just Nazis. No one wants to do the Mad Lib of like how to be a Nazi.
How to be a conflicted villain by Renee Belloc.
There you go. How to be an unapologetic Nazi by Adolf Hitler.
I used to be a douchebag and only grave rob, and then I aligned myself with the greatest evil in history. And my head exploded. The end.
The end. Also, don't forget, guys, Adolf Hitler is the true villain in 2 out of 3 Indiana Jones films.
George Lucas is the villain in the 4th.
Yes. 2 out of 3 films, and the 4th one. George Lucas is definitely the villain of that. No one's going to. Yeah, it sounds like she flew Spirit, Loquacious. It does sound like she flew Spirit. So, plane raft was plausible, if I remember. There you go, Flaming. So Willie Scott is being a whiny bitch, which, to be fair, if you've seen Temple of Doom, you know that's pretty much all she's good for, being a whiny bitch. And having tits, I guess.
They were nice.
Okay, I believe you.
Of all the Indiana Jones ones, she had the best.
She had tits. Cool. And on that note, tits. I guess we'll end tonight's stream.
I think the last word should have just been tits.
Tits. I was gonna Corona Kiss our last Monday night Corona Kiss.
Okay, do it.
So at what point of order? At what point do we no longer Corona Kiss at the end of streams?
We never stopped.
The coronavirus is completely eradicated from the world.
When they stopped making Corona beer.
Okay, Corona Kiss.